Yo YouTube and welcome back to the channel for another VOD review. Today we're in a what is this, like a diamond lobby?
Yeah, diamond lobby.
Perfect. So we're back in a diamond lobby. We're going to kind of go through and just see what we're working with. So off the break here, you go through, you go into the hill, and I'm okay with this. Now the advantage you have is you have 4 people. You're playing with a 4-stack team. Okay. So off the break, I personally want to see a bit more perfection here. I'm not a fan of 2 people running in the hill straight away. Again, just me personally. I feel like right now there's a little bit of missed opportunity here. You have an opportunity to really put pressure on them in terms of map control. So we're going to play out for a second and I'll explain kind of why. So right now you're going through, you get the first kill with your teammate. So it's 3 people. Your teammate gets a second. In this scenario, your teammate's pushing through. And there you can see you get 2-piece, okay? So straight away, you're already seeing why I had a little problem with this. Now, the reason why I had a small problem with this is because you have the luxury right now of having the perfect break. You have the luxury of having a perfect break. So before this has even taken place, you should know who's on the hill, who's watching what, and who has what pushed out already. You guys should have a setup so well drilled where everything is covered. But what happened now is he comes through the left street. Now you're watching this street now, okay? Now my only thing is right now, you're watching this street, your teammate is not yet on top third. So there's a small delay, there's a small gap. And what's happened is this guy has jumped up top and he's basically got there before your teammate was there and ended up killing you. Now my point is there should never be a gap when there's 4 of you. There should never be a gap at the start, okay?
Okay.
Now so your teammate is
what would you suggest me doing in that situation then? Should I have pushed out that B cut?
So again, it depends on the scenario. So right now it depends what your teammates are watching and what's going on. So right now if we pause it, you or your teammate on the hill is fine. I think personally, one of you have a free roaming role here, free roaming activity here. I think the first thing could be not both of you going left here. I probably would say like most of the time off the break, someone going red is normally a good play because you don't have a lot of red pressure right now. So you see how you kind of given it up by going middle, right? So what you guys have done is this. You guys have basically ignored red and done this. So you have one person there. And now you have one person watching over and one person going top third. This player is now the free roam player. He has the flexibility. He could have gone red. You see, he could have gone there, but he decided to go with you. So if you're going to have a guy middle, I personally would rather him be a bit more aggressive over there than be on the hill with you. Because the problem with being on the hill right now is there's no trophy systems. And whatever route he watches, I just personally feel like he'll be more useful being in their face. Now, if this was control, I could see it because you're getting double the points. But in hardpoint, because you're getting 1 point per second anyways, I personally just feel like you get more value being a bit more aggressive there. Now, I'm not saying you have to. Again, it's just having an option in your head. I personally feel like right now, it'll be a little bit more beneficial having somebody pushed out a bit more. Okay. Now, you dying to this player on top, I don't think that's anything to do with both of you being on the hill. I think that's that this player has to be a bit faster to that position. And I don't blame you for not looking there. I don't think that was a bad play from you. I think your teammate should have had that. So that's not the end of the world.
That's what I thought too.
Now that happens. That happens all the time. That's not a problem. Now you're going through, you're stunning grenade. There's a guy top. So what we're seeing right now is what we spoke about. This is why I wanted to do the mechanics first. Okay. This is an ego chow where you probably should lose. You're weak right now and you're committing to this gunfight. Now this player had a better shot. You're dead here. He has an MCW. Now you beaming him is great shots from you. But again, if I replayed that 10 times, I think he's going to win that more. So just being cautious here. I personally, what would I have done? As he made me weak and I realized his gunfight's probably not going my way, I would have gone prone and maybe repositioned. Like right here. So you see you're a little bit weak. You go through. You're out in the open.
Right here.
Right here. Right here, I'm going prone. Now, if I said to you, right now, if I pause this picture and said to you, this other player chokes his shot, you probably wouldn't even believe me. This was, your skill was getting the shots off, but he missed his shots from here. He could have killed you from here. Okay. And that's the first time we've seen that gun skill from you. That was good gun skill from you. But again, a little bit of a misplay from him. Now you're going through. Your teammate's there. There's a good play from you. You're taking your time. Instantly right now, what's going on? What's the situation? Well, you have a teammate on the right, but they have a lot more map control right now. They know your hair. They know your hair. Why? Because you're red dot. So they're going to, let's see what you do here. So again, you push in with a sub. Now me personally, I feel like it's an okay play. It's a weird one because I feel like right now your death is kind of long for you because you spawn all the way out, but getting a kill is kind of useful because you spawn them out. So it just depends on the trade. Like right now, I think overall, they win this team fight here. It benefits them more. because now you're going to spawn back here. Look, now you spawn all the way at the back, and look, it's further away now, okay? So you don't really gain map control from that death here, but that's okay. Again, not the end of the world. Let's see what you do. You're going to go through middle. So now we're into P2. So let's kind of go through P2 together. Let's look at the spawns and what's really going on here. So in this scenario, you should know that the blue team is coming through most likely. Every time they die, they're going to be spawning around this back alley area, okay? For the most part, roughly.
Yep.
So right now, this is where the kill feed in your minimap is important, because every kill you guys get is going to give you an indication of where they are. Now, you guys have got 3-pieced, so you are by yourself. So you are essentially by yourself, and this is where people make plays. First, your teammate going to spawn behind you. You can already see they're spawning a little bit further out, okay? So let's just stop for a second and see where your teammates are spawning. Your teammates are spawning a bit further out. So they're spawning around there, okay? In this scenario, you are by yourself. You need to try and just be annoying. And the best thing for you to do here, which is a bit late to do, but the best thing for you to do is be behind your opponents. Let me show you what I mean. So let's say this is your opponent's setup right now, okay? The best thing for you to do right now, I know it's a bit too late for them, but just so you know, the best thing for you to do is to be around there. Why? Because they then look at you. They then get distracted and they're looking at you, and it gives time for your team to break forward. Your job is you want the arrows to be facing another way than your teammates. You get me? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So from when I spawned in, should I have not gone this route? Should I have gone through middle? And then
I think going up
AC?
top here. I think going up top here is okay. Again, look, your teammates just die there. So at this point, it's like, how do I stretch the map? Like, what do I do? How can I be annoying here? For me personally, right here, maybe going left or going up the ladder. Like, it's a weird one because you're by yourself regardless, right? But it's just like, how can I be a nuisance? There's no right answer. Again, this is the point. It's just my opinion on this. There's no right answer. But I just feel like going through this front area is the most predictable area. So for me, if I'm the enemy, that's the first place I'm watching. I'm not watching anywhere. I'm literally watching this area. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. Because
it's the most popular area.
That's where the enemies would be spawning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So right now you jump through. Now my point is this. Imagine there was an opponent. Now the reason I say the word imagine a lot is because that's what we're really going with. We don't know where they are. We're going with our imagination. You jump like this. If there was an AR player right there on that head glitch snaking it, he is more than likely going to kill you. And that's why I think this was a bit of a misplay. Because yes, you got away with it here, but this could have easily gone bad. And that's again what I want to do. I'm trying to go through the danger. So right now, he kills you, and guess what happens? He kills you, you now spawn even further out, and now you're on the back foot again. So that's why I just think sometimes right there, maybe going through red, going through the window, just trying to play for a kill would have been a bit more valuable. That's all. That's the only difference, okay? Now you're playing your life here, which is fine. This is okay. This is a good corner to sit in this scenario because they're not there. And there you go. There's one. Good shots. You get the second guy weak. Let's see what you do here. So you got your kill, which is great. Now you're going through. And again, just like we spoke about, they know your hair. You know that they know your hair again, and you kind of just run out. We want to avoid these sprints. These sprints, we want to definitely avoid in these situations. They know exactly where you are. You're kind of sprinting out. You're one shot. Play with your team a bit more. You're going through, and you're dead. Okay? I know your teammate kills you there, but similar scenario. Now you're going through. Now you should spawn further out. There you go. You're spawning further out. And now you're going across again. So see what you do. Going through middle. So in this scenario, teammates gets 2.
Yeah.
So now you're pinching it. I like this play. It's good. You're going together.
Now I'm one shot. And like, I think I die here.
So this is really important. Let's go through this together. What's happening? So when your teammate gets 2, okay, what does this mean? It means 2 people are spawning up there. 2 people are going to spawn around there. There is one person on the hill. There's one person on the hill. We don't know where number 1 is in this scenario. You have a teammate kind of push kind of deep here, to be honest, around there. You will make you red. You're red number 1 to make this easier. You have a teammate over there. And you have a teammate over there, pushed up kind of deep, kind of pushed forward, and you have one teammate through the spawns. Your job right now should be filling in the gaps. Like at all times, you should be filling in the gaps. So right now, this is where you can do so many different things. Let's see what you do and what you could have done. So as you go through, you're going across. Who right now is looking at the left alley?
Talking about the hop up or like the yellow alley?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, hop up. Who right now is looking at the hop up?
Nobody is. Okay.
And this is where we need to look at as well, okay? So right now, this is where the minimap's really important. If you're going to push the hill here, there's 2 things that you're missing. So first of all, we don't know where that last guy is. Remember, we both said that we don't know where the last guy is. So as we go through, that's 1 person, that's 2 people down.
2 down,
So there's only 2, so you called out right. Your teammate dies to 1, but nobody had that back alley. And this is where the minimap awareness and slowing your gameplay down could probably benefit you slightly. Who gave that comment to Floody? Was that you?
Oh, that was one of my buddies.
Okay, cool.
My other teammate, yep.
So right now is, again, just looking at the minimap and realizing that your teammate, again, I think your teammate made a mistake here, to be honest with you. I don't think he needs to jump out because he's in a better spot to watch over. I think he's okay where he is. And what I would have suggested to your teammate is maybe even jump on the bus or go to this window and watch the back alley. That's what I think would have been better. Or kind of just because you can help, you don't need him to help you as well. Like, I think one of you needs to watch the alleyway here. That's the point. I think one of you needs, because we don't know where number 1 is. Now, number 1 could have been right here. He could have easily been right here prone. Okay. So for me, if your teammate is pushing forward, that's where I think you need to say, okay, my teammates are 2 versus 1. Now, if this guy kills both your teammates, it is what it is. You know what? Fair play. But we can't hope, we can't rely on that thing, right? We can't rely on that. Well, you need to play the most popular option. So right now, you need to be playing the cuts because no one else is playing the cuts. Now, if your teammate was sitting right here, if your teammate was sitting right there holding that angle and you were there, I would have said, I'm okay with this. You go forward, you stun and nade that, and then you help your boy in the hill. You see where I'm coming from? You simply need to fill in the roles, fill in the gaps. But right now, you're running with your pistol. Sprinted. Exactly. Your head like a chicken to get in the hill. You want to slide in. Not one person picked up the gaps. You could have been that player right there. Now, was that your job? It's not really anyone's job. It's somebody's job. We don't know who. It's not really a specific person's job. Now you're weak, and it's quite obvious where they're coming from, right? So somebody should have been there, and you get killed. The trades go in. You might win the team fight, and there you go. You win the team fight, but individually, you look back and say, okay, I could have done a bit better there. Okay?
Yeah, I probably should have maybe stunned it or something like that just to check it or preempted it really quick before,
using your
crossing like a
Perfect. Now you're in a situation with 10 seconds left. Now again, I don't mind this play. I don't mind it. I don't love it. It's a little bit of a weird ground. It's like, I think if you're the first person up right now with 15 seconds left, okay, I would always prefer, me personally, I always prefer pushing up and testing the boundaries because let me explain. This is really important for me. You're spawning right now. You're literally spawning around the hill, okay?
Yep.
Now, for this hill right now, we're on P2, okay? Every single kill you get, you will be spawning the blue team on the other side of the map. So when there's 12 seconds left. If you were to get a kill right now, the blue player would spawn all the way there, okay? So the kills now are so valuable. But you sitting back there, you are letting them rotate through and get mid-map control and set up a bigger pinch. You're letting them basically get all the way here. For me, your AR player should sit here on the hill and on the hill only when it's activated. I feel like right now, again, just my opinion, I think you have the luxury right now of potentially pushing up, even for a second, just to kind of scout the information and see if you can get a free kill. See where I'm coming from?
So I should have pushed up maybe mid, you think?
In my opinion, and again, this is why I want you to be a bit more flexible as well with your weapon switches, okay? If you spawned up here, and you spawned up like this, right here, I'll be like, you know what? This will always be quick and decisive. Let me get an AR out. If I'm going to sit on the hill, let me get an AR out because that'll be more beneficial. Like right now, an AR is more beneficial than a sub here, right? If you're going to stick to a sub, push out a little bit. Like you're sitting here, why not push out a bit and just have more pressure on them? Because right now, look, you're holding the angle, but they have more. You don't know if anyone's middle map right now. You're not painting a picture right now. We don't know where they are. Okay, that's the only thing I would say. It's not a bad play, but I just want you to be a little bit more. Okay, cool. You see what I mean? Like now they have more pressure and they're pushing through because you guys didn't have map pressure there. So look, if we look at the hill, you guys were so like kind of passive at the back. You let them go forward. As soon as they got one kill, they were able to break it straight away. And it simply came down to the rotation here. If we pause it right now with 5 seconds left, you're there, your teammate's there, and you have one teammate there. This isn't like a perfect setup, is it? This is like, there's a lot of gaps in this. If I looked right now and I told you, this is your red setup, what would you say? We don't know where blue are, but would you be happy with this setup?
No, but I think the other teammate, he's trying to go around the back and try to pick up Coop with the other teammate.
Yeah,
like
again, that's fine. But again, for me, it's just about earlier. Because, no, I get what you're saying. I think you're right, but he spawned after you. So for me, it's like you could have let the player at the back get the hill and just been a little bit more aggressive because now you don't have map control. You're watching middle, but someone's coming through the left. I'm not blaming you, by the way. I'm just saying what you think you can do to react to the team. To the team. Once
I
again,
get it. I should
trophy system, equipment, just little things. Like right now, you should put the trophy down and be a little bit more of a presence here. I think an AR is a lot better on this hill. So these are just small micro adjustments you could have done to improve your game. In this scenario, the main cut you're watching is middle. Okay, so I think an AR would have been a little bit more beneficial. In terms of gunfights we're not supposed to win, this is a perfect example. Now, I'm not saying I would have done this. I wouldn't have done this too. I probably would have. But if we're being really hypercritical, what could we have done here? You're one shot here. Now, if you kill this player, what have you done? You've out-executed him. He should kill you here because you're one shot. So you come out in the open and you challenge him. And this is what we spoke about in the mechanic. Right now, what I think you could do is say, okay, I got this kill. Let me back away. Honestly, get your pistol out. Go into the door. Don't be afraid to stop the hill for a second and just be annoying to play against. You see where I'm coming from? Because he'll look for you and he runs out into the open, your teammates kill him. But instead, you kind of overchowed. And I want you to look at this. This is the most important thing. He hit you here with, I don't know which one it is, 2 or 3 bullets. But the point is you had to hit him with 5. So he had the health advantage. And this is why I did the mechanic session first to show you the difference. So this gunfight here was a lot harder for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like I probably shouldn't have chowed him with how weak I was and maybe repositioned.
You got the first kill really well done. Now, by the way, in the moment, this is a really hard thing. What I'm telling you is a very, very high level play. It's very difficult to do. And I don't do it myself all the time as well. But when you do it, that's when you start to learn that discipline. Right now, you should look to the left of the door and say, you know what? I'm by myself. My teammates aren't here right now. My job should be to buy time. You don't need the hill right now. The game's not on the line. You should be like, okay, how do I buy time? What if I go inside here, watch this right door, chuck a grenade here, and do you know what I'm saying? I just buy time. Because even if you buy 3 or 5 seconds, let's say they run for you. Let's say 2 of them run at you, right? For 3 seconds. Those 3 seconds are crucial because this guy's pushed up. This guy's pushed up. You're trying to buy time. You die here, and now look. Now they have the hill. As soon as you die,
my teammates are really far away from the hill too.
Now look at this. Imagine you bought your boy Jenkins 3 seconds here. Those 3 seconds... Jenkins is on the edge there. Your other teammates on the hill. 3 seconds would have changed this whole hill. And now look, you spawn a bit further out and they've got the time. It's all about buying time and just thinking of the bigger picture, okay?
Yeah, I think that comes down to me. There's not being able to like really read a situation all that well, and make the decision.
For sure. And it takes time though. It's hard though, because I'm pausing it and we're having a conversation. But in the game, having that is very difficult. 25 seconds left. I would like to see one of you rotate here. There's no reason for all 4 of you to be here.
I'm running into a trophy here.
Yeah, that's just, again, that's for me an execution thing. So when I look at that, I'm not saying, why did you run into a trophy? Because I know it just happens. You know what I'm saying? That's just, back to the execution problem. So now we're going through. Again, one thing that you're doing really, really well is you're holding lanes. But one thing I want to see you do is take that step further. For him to come through the door, where does he have to come through? He's spawning around there. Okay. So for him to come through this door here, he has to come through church first. And that's what I want to see you do more, is cut those lanes at a deeper angle. Instead of you sitting here and watching this church door, you're sitting here and watching this church door. I want to see you inside cutting the lane here. You see where I'm coming from? I want to see you more aggressive into their spawn and really suffocate them. Look at the difference. You're holding this angle here. Now I've got a question. What if he goes upstairs right now? Through front church door, what if he goes upstairs? How do you know?
If he go, I don't know. I can't see him.
And there you go. And that's the key.
If he goes up
that's
top
the key.
church.
Now, if you went inside that room and you were watching the front door, you would have had more information. And that's the key thing. That's the only difference I would say to your game. You hold angles well, but just like on Cratchy P3, you hold it from too deep. Now, this is a good second spot. Once you've got information, you've got some kills. But for the first spot, I don't love it. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
This scenario here. Let's play this through. I like that you get heal.
A little bit mad with.
I like that you get heal. But for me, sometimes map control is very important as well. Like, again, I would say, like, this is a perfect scenario. You have a teammate behind you. You should be communicating to your teammate, get on the hill, I need to push out. The guy on the hill in this scenario, in this situation, should be kind of pushed out, and the players should be either watching over him from there. If there's a guy right behind you, I personally feel like you could push out and like be annoying with a sub, right? Imagine Shotzi right now. You're Shotzi and you're sitting on the hill and you have Dashy right behind you. No, Dashy would sit on the hill and soak time. Shotzi would be middle, making plays, making the enemies look for him. You see?
Yeah.
Okay? Because right now, look, you're looking for Bridge, you're running away. And look how close you are. You're right next to him. Why would you not just let him be here and you be inside and be annoying and let them remember the first thing I said to you, one of the first things I said to you, in this scenario, okay, you're red team, right? If you're red team and you're standing this side, where's the blue team going to look? the blue team is simply going to look left. Okay? So wherever they are, if they're over there, if they're in the bridge, wherever they are going to look left. Are you happy with that logic? Like they're going to look towards the hill.
Yeah, they're
right?
they're probably going to be coming from that side too. Yeah.
Now imagine if you were annoying. Imagine if you were in church right now and you go through middle and you kill this player. What happens? Right. You kill him, he spawns there. But not only that, you know what else happens? This guy starts looking at you because he's trying to. He's like, "What the fuck? This guy behind me." Then you go back to top church. Now you're a top church. While you're a top church, your teammates on the hill. You're watching the cross and you see someone else running the open. This guy gets impatient. You get him as well. Okay. That's a lot more valuable. Be annoying. You're a good gun skill, bro. Be annoying. You're very just passive and sitting there. It's not a bad trait to have sometimes.
Yeah.
This again, that's not your fault. But now you're back. Now, if we look at the map there, what are you going to say, sir?
I was going to say that passiveness, that like hesitant play that I do. It particularly, I think mostly comes down to not being able to read the situation correctly, and then like
that's fair. That's really
react to the
that's
situation.
Very fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
So with the information we're having, are you seeing how I'm a bit more proactive instead of reactive?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Now this is the perfect example. The reason I like this example was coming up is because it's going to show you just what we went through. Do you remember earlier? I'm actually going to rewind it for a second. Do you remember earlier when I said to you, you're watching this door a little bit earlier? Right here, you're watching this door, okay? Yeah. Right, you're watching this door. The player right now, if he opens this door, do you think he'll be ready for this gunfight?
Probably not, no.
Okay. I personally think he might be ready for it. Okay. I think if he opens a door, look, first of all, I think it's a really good angle you have. I think you're going to win it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a good angle from you. But I think if he opens his door, he's going to think like when I'm playing and I open this door, I expect someone to be around here. Okay. So I'm not saying this is a good angle from you, but I think he's going to expect this to an extent. So I don't think he's going to. So do you think he's just going to like open the door and sprint out, or what do you think he's going to do? He could. He could definitely do that.
He could. It could be 50-50. Like he could just run out and sprint out and not know if he's not like maybe not that good. But
okay, let's assume he's good.
A good player.
Let's assume he's a good player for this.
Yes. So a good player would probably be able to like open the door, maybe shoulder a little bit, check a stun, just to make sure. Because when you see a door close, that might be the information saying that there might be somebody behind this door.
Perfect. Now, the reason I mentioned that is because of this. He is more likely to be sprinting here. And let me show you what I mean. Look what you're going to do. You are going to sprint through this first door, and I guarantee you the second door you're ready. Right now. Remember when I told you I'd rather you be inside here?
Yeah.
Instead of being there. Imagine right now you were on this right, on the right, literally as you turn right in the corner. And look what you're doing. You are not expecting an enemy at the front door, are you? You're only expecting them on the hill. So that shows me your brain is thinking of a very tight passive setup. Look at this. You weren't expecting someone right here. Imagine if he was in your right corner, he would have killed you. But look what happens. As you get closer, look what you do. You start to... I don't know if you were going to predict that, but I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say you would have. Okay?
I had a feeling, but I wasn't really like ready for it.
But you see how you got your gun up? We need to stop having our gun up. Bro, you fried me in the mechanic class. You fried me. So these scenarios is because you don't need to have your gun up in here. Okay?
I found myself doing a lot of sprinting.
Yeah, I know, 100%. I can see it. You're doing a lot of sprinting in these scenarios. But same thing here. Imagine if, you were ready for the gunfight, you get the kill. Okay, cool. Let's move on. One thing I want to kind of stop you doing, that was a good jump, by the way, to kind of shoulder it, get some information. Let's see how you break this now.
I'm here with you, though. I'm going your top.
Spawned out.
You already on you guys, I need help. I'm going your top.
For me, again, it's like, I don't mind this play. But just being a little bit tighter, a little bit like when you're side cancelling out, you're not going to the head. Look where you go. You actually land in the open. He could have, if someone was there, maybe they kill you. Again, being very picky here. You go through, good shots. Immediately, what I would have done, gone prone. You got the first kill. You've done the hard thing. You got the first kill. Second guy, I'm out of there. But now look, you actually reach out him. You see that? I've done that as well, by the way. I do that as well sometimes, but I get annoyed at myself. Look at this. Once you make him weak, you're weak here. That's it. Stop. You are one shot. Put a trophy down. You've got the angle. But look, you try to fight it again. I know you're chucking a grenade, but he's hoping you re-peek it. And that's exactly what you do. He hit you. Now, if he didn't kill you, I would have said the same thing. Bro, you overcommitted slightly. And that's what it's about. Stop overcommitting. Because now look how far you spawned. So sometimes it's not about changing your whole gameplay. Just these small little things. Like, look at this. You overcommitting here has spawned you basically on the other side of the map. Look how crazy that is. And now your team's by themselves. Now, if they were to get 30 seconds here and win the game, and I said to you, bro, if you didn't die here, you could have won the game. That's crazy. And that's all it takes sometimes.
So Pep probably should have just gone maybe prone, not try to like risk it by throwing a nade.
Yes, this was fine. This was fine. Go prone, chuck a trophy if anything, because he might chuck a grenade and say, you know what, let me take my time. Yeah. When you regen a little bit, dive to the left, get to the left here, stretch the map out.
Okay.
Because now you're spawning out, you're going to run through. This is perfect. What do? I'm not sure if you see my videos in this scenario. I always cut the lane here. I always play up top and I play an annoying spot. Because people like you right now are running to get to the hill, right? So what I would do, I'll play a corner here. I would literally play a corner on your right. You see him kill you? He just cut the lane perfectly. Now, I think you have the gun skill to do the same thing. So I want to see you do more of that. What he just did right now, he caught you in the sprint. He cut the lane. He saw you spawn and he killed you. How did he do that? Because he pushed up the map and he got you while you were sprinting. I want to see you do more of that. Is that fair?
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Because
now look how far you spawn back. So now that's another 10 seconds to your push. I've not seen you do that yet this game. I've seen you win some crazy gunfights, but I've not seen you cut the lane. I've not seen you break the hill and hold an angle. Even that, bro, you're fucking shitting on them, but this isn't a gunfight you should win. You're weak here. And look, you absolutely destroy him, but you shouldn't have won that. So when I look at that, I say, bro, good kill. You fried him. But we have to be a little bit cautious because of the I'm not telling you to stop it because you're absolutely disgusting with it. But I'm just telling you, if you die, that's the reason why. Okay.
Okay.
Me personally, I wouldn't have taken that. I wouldn't have taken that because of the risk to reward. Now it works out for you, so to do it. If it works out, do it. But again, it's kind of like a Beezy. Sometimes he does it, but sometimes he overchows stuff and he loses the game because of it. So it just depends where you are on there. There's smarter players sometimes that make those smarter decisions, but at the same time, it can help you. It's just one of those flip of a coins depending on the scenario. What did he do? Same thing. He cut the lane. Look at this. You're checking every corner. He's in the off angle. He cut the lane. All these players are doing is cutting the lane. What I want you to start doing. Right? Instead of holding red through P1, instead of sitting in P1 and remember the very first thing I told you, the very first thing, we're in 6 minutes 11, okay? 6 minutes 11, 6 minutes 11.
11, got it.
Just as an example, right now you're watching red from here. If he was to push you here, would he be ready for the gunfight? Like if he was to push you here, if he was in red, let me say that again. If he was in red right now, he probably would be ready for a gunfight. Like he'd probably be pre-aiming you and a bit ready, right? The point is you might have a gunfight if you're 1v1. But look at the difference here. When someone's cutting the lane, this is the difference. Same situation, but look, he's behind you. You're not even expecting it. Now, I know it's not the start of the game. I'm just giving a point out. Like, you want to kill them when they're not expecting it and then reposition. That's kind of what I want you to do a bit more, okay? Because you have the gun skill to do it. Your gun skill is so good and you're caging it by doing plays that you don't even need to do. Like, you should be cutting the lane. Right here, perfect example. There you go. Get aggressive. I want to see this quicker. I want to see this quicker. I want to see you behind them. There you go. This is cutting the lanes right here. What you just did was cutting the lanes. The first time you done it, halfway through the game. First time you did it. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Now, why did you do this? Because you knew they were coming through that mid alley. So you're like, let me go through. Let me cut the lanes here. You didn't take your time. This was great. This was perfect. You went through. You get the first kill. Now reposition. There's a guy behind you. Okay, it's unfortunate, but you get the kill there. Okay.
Yeah, now, it's just like being able to do that more often, right?
And
like
smarter as well. It's being exactly
smarter,
now. Right now, for example, when you go through, if you were to like, okay, if you were a little bit quicker here, let me explain why. If you were a little bit quicker right now, if you actually went left here and said, right, I'm going to cut the lanes instead of going to the hill. I don't mind. I don't mind what you're doing. But this was what, 5 seconds? This whole thing was 5 seconds.
I think
like this, like
so,
this here, like look, 1, 2, 3, 4. As in, like for you to start moving. Like that's about 4 or 5 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Now, right now, let's look at the mini map. There's a guy right on top of you. Okay. Let's just play as if you were faster. If you were 5 seconds ahead, right now, you would have been at the door now. Okay, you would have been at this door now.
Yeah.
So you could have killed that player and then pre-aimed on top. You see where I'm coming from? So now we're going to work on our speed, okay? Because as soon as you get this guy, you didn't realize from the minimap the guy's behind you. And that's, in the moment, it's quite a lot to take in. But once you get better at it, you realize you could have got both those kills. Once you get both those kills, the whole map is easier. And that's what I want to see you get more better at, faster. Perfect example right now. What he did to you, he cut the lanes. He fried you. He pushed out.
Yeah.
He wasn't reserved. Look how far out he is. This is a Crimson player. And this is why. He cut the lanes at a really good angle. Now you spawn at the back. Look how far you spawned. He pushed you all the way to the back there. He did his job perfectly. Okay, bro?
Okay.
You're doing a good job. But again, your gun skill's so good. I want to see you a bit more useful with it. Like right now, this is great. You get a kill. So what were we going to say? I think you want to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, when would be the best time to start cutting lanes? When like 3 or 4 dead, or like when would you say the best time would be to start cutting lanes? Like
every time an opportunity presents itself, you're constantly fighting for map control. So right now you got 1 kill. Okay. So if you were to cut the lanes right now, you couldn't really do that because they're the ones set up. So there's no cutting lanes right now. But let's say let's just play out now and kind of see when you could, right? So right now you go through, he just cut the lanes against you. So right now you don't have the setup, so there's nothing to cut. Cutting lanes is like this, like you have the setup and you're trying to push them as far back as possible. So basically anytime you have a setup, you need to be punishing them. So right now, because you don't have a setup, this is about breaking the hill, not holding, okay?
Right.
So this isn't exactly cutting the lane. This is kind of just holding it. You're holding it. Let's play it out. As soon as you get a setup, we'll go through kind of how you can break it, okay? How you can hold it.
Okay.
So right now, you're taking the ultra route. I don't love this because there's 30 seconds left. I don't love this. Let me explain why. This could be very, very damaging because what you're potentially doing here is you're risking the spawn set. This is really, really, you need to be very careful here. With 35 seconds left, you're going into a scenario where you're going from P2 to P3, right? You have right now you have the P3 spawns, okay? You don't really want to spawn here right now. What you want to do is you actually want to break the hill and hold it from the front, okay?
Right.
Because there's only 30 seconds left. But you going round now, you have to be very careful. If somebody goes through from
earlier.
Exactly. If you're going to do this earlier, that's okay. But doing this with 25 seconds, let's see where your teammates spawn here. Let's see where your teammates spawn.
They're probably going to spawn behind me if I had to guess.
So you have just given your teammate that spawn. So now, not only has he got this spawn, you haven't got the hill either. So you've actually given them the perfect scenario. You've given the blue team they've held the hill, and they've told them their team, yo, we've got through junk, by the way. We've got P3 as well. So those small mistakes. Now, what you got out of that wasn't really anything because you're still trying to break the hill. You're still trying to break the hill. You might break it now for what, 15 seconds? Like let's look at the time realistically. There's 1 good kill. There's 12 seconds left, 13 seconds left. So you gained 13 seconds over there, but you've now lost the rotation and you now have to break what you already had. When people see 30 seconds, they start to panic. They think that's so much time. But realistically, that's only 1 real good push. Like you can start rotating and just hold it from the good side. Now you guys have broke the hill, but there's a chance you wouldn't have broke the hill. Okay, so you guys have broke the hill. What you're doing now is cutting the lanes. Okay?
Right, yeah.
But we could take it a step further. Right now, I don't see anyone on this side of the map. Your whole team is here, right? There's no one on this side of the map. So I'm fairly confident they're going through middle. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, probably middle or coop somewhere on the other side of the map, not here.
Perfect. So right now, what you're doing is you are cutting the lanes to an extent. You sitting here is cutting this right part of the map, okay? Because you're holding that from a deep angle. But I would go a step further and say, right now, you know that no one's coming right. So although you technically are cutting lanes, you could actually be more impactful. Instead of sitting here and watching this push, I would say, actually, you should have done this. From here, you should have gone to red, come behind them through here. Now this would have been very, very aggressive. This would have been really cutting the lanes. Because like we both just said, they're probably coming through the right. They're probably doing that. So think about it. You're sitting here right now. But imagine if you were pushing through middle, you get this kill, and then you back away. You see the difference? That is cutting lanes to its finest right there. Looking at the map, saying, how can I be annoying? There you go. How can I be annoying? Well, they're not really, I saw like no one coming through this side. Now there's a chance that one jumps through, but I'm going to take my time. I'm going to go through red here because they're probably coming through middle. I'm going to get a kill. This guy's going to turn around. My teammates are chilling. They only have to worry about the left. But instead, you're going to sit here. Let's see what happens. No one's going to push you here. No one's going to push you. When you're sitting here for 20 seconds and no one pushes you, that tells me you made the wrong play. Most of the time. Sometimes it's okay, but here you made the wrong play. You're going through. There was one player. It just wasn't worth it. It really wasn't worth it. Your teammate spawns with you, and there you go. You get that kill eventually. But imagine if you went through middle, and instead of now, after 25 seconds, okay, you end up over there. But you could have been behind them. You could have been in their face, and your teammate would have spawned up and taken your spot. Okay? Make sense?
Right. Yeah, so I should have probably push out the mid, and then maybe reposition back there.
Exactly, right here. Okay. When you see no one here, so you're watching an area where no one's pushing. So you should this should give you flags of, okay, no one's here. So where could they be? Well, they're probably through middle and they're probably through the left. So let me check middle here, and let me be annoying. Let me go behind them. Let me catch a timing. But you sitting left now, your teammates are now in a 3 versus 4. They end up winning the gunfights. You see, they win the gunfights, but you weren't in control there. You had nothing to do with that victory in that term, in terms of that scenario. Okay.
Yeah, I could do a better job of that, in game, asking those questions to myself, because I don't really do it that often.
Test the limit. Yeah. Test the limit. Now, if you go there and it fails, at least you know, how did it fail? Oh, I was a bit late. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Right now, you're going through. Let's see how you cut the lanes there. Let's see what you do. This is it. So again, you're doing it sometimes, and look what happens. You have the gun skill to kill him. You have the gun skill to be annoying. You did it, but not as consistently. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. You're watching middle. So right now, this is a completely different gameplay. You're cutting the lanes. But again, what can we do? Go up the ladder. Before we go up the ladder, you're worried about middle, right? Chuck a stun, chuck a grenade. You have your equipment, use it. Right now, I don't mind you worrying about middle. I'm also worried about middle, but chuck a stun there. Don't rely on timing. You go through, there's a guy right there, and there you go. What would have happened? That stun would have fried his shit out of him. Right there, he
I would
stunned.
have known he was there too.
There you go. He stunned. You could probably get off the ladder and fry him, but instead you're waiting for a timing. You're standing up top and you die. See where I'm coming from? But the more you do this, the more you cut the lanes, the better you'll be. Now, next time, if you're in the same scenario, you might chuck that stun grenade because we've gone through it today. So that's why cutting the lanes, you're going to be better as a player. You're going to learn more. Okay.
Okay. So with stuns and nades, for somebody who doesn't maybe throw them as often, would you recommend just saying hey, just get rid of them no matter what, as a habit, just to throw them?
It's a hard thing to say. I don't know how to start the habit because I've been doing it for so many years. But I would say the way I look at it, and hopefully this helps you, is just every single time you chuck a stun and grenade, it can be useful, because if you're damaging a trophy system, then that is useful in my opinion. Because if there's 4 of you and you're all doing it, you're going to be very, very annoying. Then you're going to get rid of the trophy. So for a sense, you shouldn't really be alive at the end of the death. You shouldn't really die with your equipment most of the time. Now, some pros literally have that as a thing where you just throw it. You spawn and you throw it. It's a thing. If every single person on your team is throwing it every death, you're going to get rid of their trophy systems. And that's very important. Okay?
Yeah, I try to make that a habit, but I don't really follow it that often.
Again, it's so many small things you have to worry about. You have to worry about this, you have to worry about that. So it's just kind of putting them together. And some things I do so naturally, some things I don't. And again, just the more you play, the better you'll be. When you look at this gameplay, have you really been outgunned? I don't even remember a time when you've been outgunned completely. It's not like you've been completely pissed on. Okay, bad timing. But even that wasn't really pissed on. But a lot of your
that's bad execution. In your
there
words.
You go. There you go. A lot of your timing, a lot of the time we're watching this, it's not really like that. What do we see right there? He went for the camera, and look at that. He was kind of weak, so he chowed you. Now, he would have killed you if he was full health in this scenario. But if you killed him right here like you did, and he was full health, that would have been poor execution from him. He actually outplayed you here. Is that fair? In terms of, he out-camered you. He out-camered you, right? Look, he caught you in the sprint right there. He out-camered you. Yep. Now, you killing him was simply because of his health. But if I'm him, I'm not even annoyed. I'm like, oh, you know what? I got a shot from someone else. It's not the end of the world. Okay?
Yeah.
You're going through. Let's see what you do here. A little bit patient. I don't think you need to jump in. A lot of the time, you're kind of jumping in and not really looking around. Bro, you have good gun skill. Just kind of trust yourself a bit more. Right now, you don't even know where he is in the hill, and you're jumping in and running in. You're giving yourself an option to die. Think about it. You just killed his teammate. So where is he pre-aiming right now?
Probably the barrel cut where I'm coming from.
And what do? You jump in the hill directly from the barrel cut. So right now, he could be anywhere on the hill and you just giving him your whole body instead of at least looking at it from an angle. Okay? Going through 21 seconds.
I panicked a little bit just because
that's
I wanted
fine.
to get
the game is almost over.
Yeah.
But when I look at that game, I'm like, right, you got how many kills? You went negative, and I saw you world star about 6 people. So that tells me your gun skill isn't the issue. It's kind of your pacing and the way you're approaching the scenarios, okay? You're not, when you guys have a setup, you're not punishing them enough. You're not punishing them enough. And that's a key thing, because you guys, you were scenarios, you were outgunning them, but you're just not punishing them at all, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Let's look at the final score right there.
I think that's where
Now, your teammates didn't fry. That's fine. That's fair enough. But I look at that and say, you, personally, I think when you had setups, you could have been so much more impactful. I trust you as a player to be way more impactful.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's what I find myself not really doing very often, is being able to adapt to situations and reading the play, and like you're saying, cutting lanes. Like I could be better, obviously, too, with my gun skill. I wouldn't say it's like really, really good, but I think more I sense my weaknesses are being able to adapt to scenarios and knowing when to push, when not to push, what lanes to hold. You know, looking at what my teammates are doing. There you go. Being able to read the kill feed, shit like that.
Filling in the gaps, pushing the key spots, being annoying. Now that just comes in practice. Now you made a few mistakes there, like the stun, stuff like that. That's good because you learn from those mistakes. But when you're sitting at the back of the map and like holding an angle, if you die, you don't learn from that. You didn't get any knowledge from that.
Okay.
So don't be afraid to push out.
Okay.
But overall, it's good gameplay, man. In terms of your actual gun skills, pretty good. There's no reason why you shouldn't consistently be in Crimson. It's just one of those where we want to get you there by just being a little bit more aggressive and really just cutting the lanes and making them like, oh shit, okay, this guy's good. Like he's annoying to play against. Okay.
Okay.
Be annoying to play against, but. That's going to be the VOD session. Thank you so much, YouTube. Make sure to show some love down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys for another video tomorrow. Peace.